Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I am here today with my February 2021 TBR. I can't believe January is almost over, and now that we're entering the second month of the year. The first month was as hectic as any of last year's months, although not as bad, if you know what I mean. For January, I had thought that I would read only those books that I had mentioned in my TBR video, but obviously that does not go to plan, right? We are impulsive readers over here, mood readers over here. So what is the point of making a TBR video? Structure and a sense of making sure that we have a plan for the coming month. Now on to February. For February, I have a couple of things I want to talk to you about, the couple of sections that I want to talk to you about, and why I'm reading these particular books. There are 4 sections over here and I'll go through them one by one. And surprisingly, even though there are 4 sections, the books that are in this video are surprisingly fewer. And I am looking at this stack and at my TBR document, the script that I made, and I'm looking at it very suspiciously, going like, have I forgotten anything? Should I really make a different separate TBR script or something? And then I'm like, relax, calm, you need this ease in your life at least for 1 month. So without any further ado, let's get into this video and let me share with you all the books that I have decided to read in February 2021. So this first section of books I will be reading for Black History Month. February is Black History Month and I thought I'd honor some Black authors by reading their works, and I know that it should be a year-long thing. So from this month on, that's what I will be doing. I will be reading one Black author every month, at least one Black author every month. So for Black History Month, I have decided to read 5 books that are already on my TBR. They have been here for a long time, it feels like, but finally I'll be getting to them this month, and maybe it's a kind of a chance to actually push these books forward and read them, because I need to make myself do that. The first book that I've chosen for Black History Month is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. This book is a classic set during the times of the Harlem Renaissance, and I have been wanting to read this book for so long. I cannot even tell you when I bought it. It's a Kindle edition that I have, and I bought it completely based on what I read of the blurb. I didn't know at the time that it was a classic and that it talks about the coming of age of the people involved in the story and all of that. And it's also been pegged as psychological fiction through Google, and I'm like, okay, we are going through a lot of stuff here and I am ready for it. I want to read it. And even though this book came out in 1937, I feel like this book is going to be really important even in this time and age. Next up for Black History Month is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, and I think I've spoken enough about this in the 21 books I want to read in 2021 list. But Maya Angelou is, despite not knowing or having read any of her works, she is one of my favorite writers in the whole wide world, because I've read her a poem, And Still I Rise, and it is one of my favorite poems ever. I'm not even going to say that it was one of my favorite poem and all of that, because there's so much power in that poem and it gives me hope. And to not have read Maya Angelou after seeing what power she holds, it sort of grates on my nerves that at myself, because I didn't pick her book so far. But I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is Maya Angelou's own story. It's the story of her early years, and I am really intrigued to read it. And I know that I know that Maya Angelou is about to become one of my favorite writers of all time. Next up for Black History Month is The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead, and this has been there for ages and I should have read this a long time ago. I should have read this in 2019, I think 2018 or 2019, but I never got around to reading it. But this time I'm definitely going to read it. This is the story of a slave on a cotton plantation who finds out about the Underground Railroad and how there are slaves who can escape from the place they are in from a new slave who has arrived from Virginia. And they go on this entire journey, and I want to find out what it is, but we are about to find out because I am going to read this in February. Next up is Punching the Air by Ibi Zoboi and Yusuf Salam. I think this is also a fictionalization of Yusuf Salam's own story about how he was arrested wrongfully and then was let off only after the white guy who was involved in that shooting incident actually said that, okay, no, I was the only one who was responsible for this. This is the story of Amal Shahid, who has always been an artist and a poet. But even in his diverse art school, because of a bias system, he's seen as disruptive and unmotivated. Then one fateful night, an altercation in a gentrifying neighborhood escalates into tragedy. Boys just being boys turns out to be true only when those boys are white. Suddenly, at just 16 years old, Amal is convicted of a crime he didn't commit and sent to prison. Despair and rage almost sink him until he turns to the refuge of his words, his art. This never should have been his story, but can he change it? People make me angry. The next book for Black History Month that I've chosen is How We Fight for Our Lives by Saeed Jones. This is Saeed Jones's own story about how, as a young gay black teen, he had to fight for his place in society and how he had to make his way through every battle that the world could throw at him. How We Fight for Our Lives is a stunning coming-of-age memoir. Jones tells the story of a young black gay man from the South as he fights to carve out a place for himself within his family, within his country, within his own hopes, desires, and fears. Through a series of vignettes that chart a course across the American landscape, Jones draws readers into his boyhood and adolescence, into tumultuous relationships with his family, into passing flings with lovers, friends, and strangers. Each piece builds into a larger examination of race and queerness, power and vulnerability, love and grief, a portrait of what we all do for one another and to one another as we fight to become ourselves. The second is my TBR for TBR Tackle, a readathon that is being conducted by Key from Books and Key and Jyotsna from Jyotsna's Bookscapades. They have some amazing prompts. It's a very chill readathon that you can participate in, and you can club prompts, you can drop prompts, you can do anything, but just participate. It's a way of cutting down on your TBR, and there are some prompts that you can combine and you can make it into one giant prompt and finish up a book or something, but it is a really chill one, so I'm really excited to participate in this readathon. I also want to tell you that I will be hosting a reading sprint along with Key and Jyotsna for TBR Tackle, and it will be on Instagram Live, and all of you are welcome to participate in the readathon, as well as come to the reading sprint and let's read. There are other amazing booktubers also who will be hosting sprints along with them. So a big thank you to Key and Jyotsna for hosting this readathon. It's going to be fun. So my TBR for TBR Tackle, the readathon, is I have combined a few books along with the Black History Month books, and I've combined a few prompts. So let's go through the prompts one by one, and I'll tell you what books I have chosen for which and which prompts I have clubbed together. So the first prompt is non-fiction book, and the second is BIPOC author, a book by a BIPOC author, and I've clubbed these two, and I will be reading How We Fight for Our Lives. What the hell, I just spoke about it. How We Fight for Our Lives by Saeed Jones. And since I've already spoken about it, I won't say much more about it. Okay. Prompt number 3 is a translation, and prompt number 4 is a short story collection, and I'm clubbing these two to read The Loneliness of Hira Borua by Arupa Patangya Kalita, and this is a collection of short stories originally written in Assamese, I think, and it has been translated into English by Ranjita Biswas. And this I was supposed to have read last year, another book that I was supposed to have read last year but never got around to reading it. I'm glad that this is a chance for me to pick it up and read it, and I'm somehow sure that I'm going to enjoy it. Somehow. Okay, prompt number 5 is a genre you love, which is YA. I really love YA books. And prompt number 7 is LGBTQI plus author or book, and for that I have chosen Felix Ever After by Kaysen Calendar. I think Kaysen Calendar is a trans author, and I've heard amazing things about Felix Ever After wherever I look, be it Twitter, Bookstagram or Booktube. People have been raving about it and that it is so wonderfully written and all of that, and I was like, okay, finally I need to get that book and I need to read it. Okay, Felix Love has never been in love. And yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone but him to find someone. What's worse is that even though he's proud of its identity, Felix also secretly fears that he's one marginalization too many, black, queer, and transgender, to ever get his own happily ever after. When an anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he transitioned, Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. What he didn't count on, his catfish scenario landing him in a quasi-love triangle. Prompt number 6. Yes, 6 comes after 7 because I combined 5 and 7 is the earlier one. But prompt number 6 is a tome which is more than 400 pages, and for that I have chosen Still Me by Jojo Moyes because this has been sitting over there for a very long time and I really wanted something not too heavy for me, at least one book that I will be able to just breeze through. I don't have to put my brain a lot to it. I mean, not that it's very easy to read and all. Wait, let me see how many pages this has. This has 470, almost 470 pages, and I really want to feel that connection to Lou again, although I don't know if this is going to be as good as Me Before You or After You. But yeah, this is the third in that series, and usually series just start going downhill, but it's okay. Let's see how this one goes, and let's just hope that it remains good. Prompt number 8 is an ebook, and prompt number 9 is a classic, and for that I have chosen I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, because Maya Angelou is a completely classic writer. Okay, I also could say that I will read Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston because that is also a classic. But I don't know, I somehow ended up choosing the Maya Angelou book and I'm not even complaining. So the third section that I will be talking about for February's reading is the subscriber pick for the month, and that is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. And I really wanted you guys to choose I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I don't know why. I had that in me. Okay, please let it be this, please let it be this. And you delivered. I mean, it's a thing, okay? We have some telepathic connection, it feels like, where I go, I give you 4 options and I'm like, okay, I want, please take the third one. And you all vote for it, and that's what happens. That's what I end up reading. And the fourth section of books are the books that are pending. Like I am in the middle of at the moment, and I really want to finish them in February. Okay, and I don't know, it feels like they won't be done in February because there is one tome that I can't finish even in March, and that much I'm really sure. Okay, let me tell you about all these books. The first one, the tome that I was talking about, is not a book that I will be able to finish, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, but I will be reading parts of it because we are going slow and we really need to take it slow because there's so much going on in this book. But I am not really sure if taking it slow is a wise idea, because by the time we get to the next part we are forgetting everyone, and there are so many characters also in here. So this is one book, Shuggie Bain by Douglas Stewart. I don't think I will be able to finish it this month. I'm really not sure. I'm trying to finish it, but I will not be able to finish it. I think I have that feeling, but I don't know, maybe I can surprise myself and finish it. But if I don't, then I hope that February will be the month in which I end up reading and writing that review. Next up is Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie, and this has been going on since December and it's stuck at the same place at page 121. And I don't know why, because as I mentioned in earlier videos, Salman Rushdie's writing is beautiful, but I just can't find that incentive to pick the book up and read it. I have no clue. I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes. I got this book off of a friend, and this was the Drama Queenathon book club pick for the month of January, and a majority of us haven't finished this book. So what we have done is we are pulling this book into February as well and making it February's book club pick as well. And I'm really intimidated because it is like 900 pages long. Okay, I said there were 4 sections, but there's also a 5th section that I'm just realizing there is. and that section is the ARC section or the blog tour section. So there is a book that I really need to read and write the review of before the 5th of February, because that's when my tour stop for the book is. And this book is called How to Build a Heart by Maria Padian, I think it's pronounced. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But this is the story of Izzy Crawford, who wants to feel like she really belongs somewhere. Her father, a Marine, died in Iraq 6 years ago, and Izzy's moved to a new town nearly every year since, far from the help of her extended family in North Carolina and Puerto Rico. When Izzy's hardworking mom moves a small family to Virginia, all her dreams start clicking into place. She likes her new school, even if Izzy is careful to keep her scholarship student status hidden from her well-to-do classmates and her new athletic and popular boyfriend. And best of all, Izzy's family has been selected by Habitat for Humanity to build and move into a brand new house. Izzy is this close to the community and permanence she's been searching for, until all the secret pieces of her life begin to collide. And I have an arc of this book, e-arc of this book, and I will be reading and putting up a review of it on Instagram and my blog. So if you'd like to stay updated, stay tuned with it, and you would like to know more about what I think of that book, then please go follow my blog. First of all, the link is in the description below as always, and also follow me on Instagram. That link is also in the description box below. So those are all the books that I want to read in February 2021. Which of these have you read? Which ones did you like? Which ones did you not like? Will you be participating in TBR Tackle? Which books are you reading for Black History Month? Which books have you chosen for February? Whatever am I talking? But what are you currently reading? What will be your first read of February? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.